job interview that might finally pull him out of endless rejection, side gigs, and nights spent wondering if things would ever change. It was 8:23 a.m., his interview was set for 8:30, and he had barely enough time to cross the street to the tall office tower ahead. He'd borrowed bus money to get there and skipped breakfast. Each step carried the burden of hope and urgency. Then he heard it, a sudden cry that sliced through the city's noise. An elderly woman had slipped on the curb, her grocery bags spilling into the gutter, their contents drifting in the rainwater along the sidewalk. Dozens of people passed by, umbrellas tilted to block the downpour, eyes turned away. No one stopped. Jayden stood still. This was one of those moments that could define him. He glanced at the office building, then at the woman, clearly in pain and trying to sit up. Without a second's hesitation, he ran to her side. He tucked his resume folder under a nearby awning, knelt beside her in the rain, and helped her sit upright, using his own body to shield her from the storm. Her wrist seemed hurt, and she winced as she said, "I think I need help." "But don't you have somewhere to be?" Jayden looked back at the office one last time. He knew time was slipping away. But then he smiled. "I'm exactly where I should be," he replied. It wasn't anything grand, just a simple kindness from a young man who knew too well what it felt like to be overlooked. He called for an ambulance and stayed by her side until the paramedics got there. He gathered her groceries, wiped the rain from the cans, and even found her wallet in the mess. By the time she was safely loaded into the ambulance, his suit was soaked through and it was almost 9 a.m. Even so, Jayden hurried to the office tower, dripping wet, hoping he could at least explain. But security was strict, he was too late. The list was closed, and the candidates were already upstairs. He'd just sacrificed the chance of a lifetime. Then the elevator chimed, and out stepped the same woman he'd helped. Now dry, with a brace on her wrist and a cane, she stood tall but her eyes were kind. She looked at him and smiled. "You missed your interview because of me." He nodded softly, not sure how to respond. She reached out her hand. "I'm Evelyn Rodas, CEO of this company. And you, young man, just earned something more valuable than a job, you earned my respect." There he stood, drenched and speechless, realizing that what felt like his worst moment had actually become the best. That single, selfless choice, putting a stranger's need above his own dreams, changed his life forever. Sometimes, life's real interviews don't show up on a schedule, and the P.O.